Ladies, have you ever caught yourself saying something and then regretting it later? Words have power. They shape how others see you and, more importantly, how you see yourself. Today, I want to share 12 words you should stop saying if you're an older woman over 70. Trust me, cutting these out can change your life. Stick around because the last word on this list is one you've probably been saying every day without realizing its impact. Let's talk about one of the most subtle yet destructive words in our vocabulary, just. It's sneaky because it seems harmless at first glance, but oh, how it can undermine us. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, "I just wanted to check in, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to help"? When we use the word just, it often sounds as though we're apologizing for our own existence. It turns a strong statement into something timid and hesitant. For example, if you're offering advice and say, "I just think maybe you should," it sounds like you don't fully believe in your own wisdom. But here's the truth. Your wisdom, your voice, and your experiences matter. You've lived through wars, revolutions, economic booms, and cultural shifts. You've raised families, built careers, and weathered storms. You have earned the right to speak with conviction. So, what can you say instead? Simply drop the word just. Instead of, "I just wanted to check in," say, "I wanted to check in." It's assertive without being pushy. Instead of, "I'm just saying," try, "This is what I believe." It might feel bold at first, but over time, it will feel empowering. Every time you eliminate the word just, you reclaim a bit of your confidence and authority. Try it. You'll be amazed at how people start to listen more attentively when you speak with clarity and assurance. Here's a word we women over 70 hear and say all too often: old. Now, let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging your age. In fact, we've earned every single year on this planet. But calling ourselves old can be limiting. Think about it. How often do you say things like, "I'm too old to try that. I'm just an old woman"? You know how it is when you're old. When you label yourself as old, you unconsciously reinforce the idea that age defines you. But let me tell you something, it doesn't. You are not just your age. You are a collection of experiences, stories, and achievements. Yes, your body may not move like it used to, and your memory may have its quirks, but your age is just one facet of your incredible identity. Here's a better way to frame it. Instead of calling yourself old, focus on being wise, experienced, or seasoned. For example, say, "I've lived through enough to know better," instead of, "I'm too old to care." Shift the narrative. Talk about the benefits of your years instead of the perceived drawbacks. Also, pay attention to how you talk about your health and abilities. Avoid phrases like, "Well, I'm old now, so I can't." Instead, reframe it by saying, "I'm adapting to new ways of doing things." Language matters. It doesn't just shape how others see us, it shapes how we see ourselves. Ladies, let's own our age without letting it define or limit us. Remember, you're not old, you're ageless. Let's get one thing straight. Apologizing when you're genuinely in the wrong is a mark of strength, not weakness. But if you're like most women, sorry has probably crept into your daily vocabulary in places where it doesn't belong. Here are some examples. Sorry to bother you, but... I'm sorry, but can I say something? Sorry, I don't know how to do that. Now think about what's really happening when you say sorry unnecessarily. You're subtly apologizing for your needs, opinions, or even your existence. And after a lifetime of doing this, it becomes second nature. But here's the hard truth. Over-apologizing diminishes your confidence and invites others to undervalue you. Instead of saying sorry when you don't need to, try flipping the script. Let's say you're running a few minutes late. Instead of saying, "Sorry I'm late," say, "Thank you for waiting." That small shift in language keeps the focus on gratitude instead of guilt. Or instead of saying, "Sorry to interrupt," say, "Excuse me, I have something to add." See the difference? You also don't need to apologize for not knowing something. Instead of, "Sorry, I don't know," say, "That's interesting. I'd love to learn more." It turns the situation into a growth opportunity rather than a reason to feel bad. Overcoming the sorry habit isn't easy. It takes practice. But every time you catch yourself and reframe the moment, you're building confidence. You're also setting an example for the people around you, showing them the power of speaking unapologetically. The word can't. How often do we say this without even realizing the weight it carries? I can't learn that new technology. I can't travel like I used to. I can't start something new at my age. The word can't shuts doors. It's a self-imposed limitation, often uttered without even questioning whether it's really true. Now, let's be honest. There are things that might be physically challenging as we age, but can't often means we've already given up before we've even tried. Here's an example. Many women over 70 resist learning new technologies like smartphones, streaming services, or video calls. I can't figure out all that complicated stuff, they say. But imagine the joy of video chatting with grandkids, learning new skills online, or streaming a favorite movie. By saying can't, you're depriving yourself of opportunities for connection and growth. Instead of can't, try rephrasing with, I'll give it a shot. I'll figure out how. Those tiny shifts open up possibilities. Even if you need help along the way, you're far more likely to find solutions when you start from a mindset of curiosity instead of defeat. Replace I can't with, this is new to me, but I'm willing to try. I haven't done that yet, but I'd like to learn. It might take time, but I'll find a way. Remember, every skill we possess today started as something we had never done before. By eliminating these words from your vocabulary, you empower yourself to speak with clarity, confidence, and authority. Language is powerful. Use it to lift yourself up, not hold yourself back. Now tell me, have you caught yourself using these words? Which one will you stop saying today? Let me know in the comments. Life has taught us that persistence pays off. What was once impossible has become achievable, proving that determination leads to success. So why should that stop now? You are capable of far more than you think. Believe in yourself, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. The word should is laced with guilt and obligation. You might not even realize how often it creeps into your thoughts and conversations. I should exercise more. I should visit my children more often. I should have saved more money when I was younger. When you use should, you are essentially scolding yourself or setting unattainable expectations. It creates a perpetual sense of dissatisfaction, as if you are constantly falling short. And let's face it, women are experts at piling guilt on themselves. We developed this habit while juggling the roles of mother, partner, and career woman. But in this stage of life, it is time to let that guilt go. Here's the secret. Replace should with I choose to, or I want to. This subtle shift transforms obligation into empowerment. For example, instead of saying, I should exercise more, say, I want to move my body because it feels good. Instead of, I should visit my children, say, I choose to visit my children because it brings me joy. See how freeing that feels? Also, let go of the should-haves from the past. I should have started saving earlier. I should have pursued a different career. These thoughts do not serve you now. Shift your focus to what you can do today to create the life you want. The past is done, but your future is still wide open. By eliminating should, you will notice a weight lifting from your shoulders. Instead of pressuring yourself, you will feel motivated by possibility. You will begin to see your actions as choices, not burdens, and that is an incredibly powerful transformation. Let's talk about one of the harshest words we can use, ugly. Too often, we do not just use it to describe things, we use it on ourselves. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, my hair looks so ugly today? These wrinkles make me look ugly. I hate how my body looks. It's just ugly. Now stop right there. Calling yourself ugly, even in passing, does far more harm than you realize. Your words feed into a belief system that tells you your worth is tied to your appearance. And when you use the word ugly about yourself, you are not just criticizing what is on the outside, you are internalizing the idea that you are less valuable. Here's the reality. Aging isn't ugly. It is proof of a life well lived. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every silver strand of hair reflects wisdom and grace. Every stretch mark, laugh line, and scar is a badge of honor, a symbol of a body and soul that have weathered the years with resilience. Instead of ugly, start using words like natural, authentic, or beautiful in its own way. Look in the mirror and find one thing to compliment about yourself every day. Maybe it's the twinkle in your eyes, the strength of your hands, or the kindness in your smile. By shifting your focus, you will begin to see yourself in a whole new light. Let's also talk about how you describe others. As women, we are often our harshest critics, not just of ourselves, but of those around us. Challenge yourself to replace negativity with kindness, whether it's directed at you or others. Your beauty isn't just skin deep. It radiates from the confidence and love you show the world. Remember, ladies, words are powerful. Choose ones that lift you up, not tear you down. Aging is a privilege, and you are as radiant as the wisdom you carry. Let's talk about the word lonely. It is an incredibly powerful word, and not in a good way. When we say, "I feel so lonely," it is not just a description of our circumstances. It is a mindset. It plants a seed in our hearts that grows into isolation and despair. Here's the thing, feeling lonely does not mean you are alone. It often stems from a sense of disconnection, a belief that no one understands or values your presence. The danger of using the word lonely is that it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you say it, the more you believe it, and the more you pull away from the very connections that could ease that feeling. But you are not powerless against loneliness. Instead of labeling yourself as lonely, reframe your situation. Say, "I am seeking connection." Say, "I am looking for new experiences." These small changes in language can open your mind to opportunities. Join a local club, sign up for a class, or volunteer at an organization that matters to you. Reach out to old friends, or even younger generations. They may surprise you with their eagerness to learn from your wisdom. Loneliness is a feeling, not a permanent state. By shifting your perspective and taking action, you can transform it into moments of connection and joy. Most importantly, remember this: your presence is valuable. There are people who want to hear your stories, share your laughter, and be uplifted by your kindness. Replace lonely with words like hopeful or open, and watch how your outlook and your world changes. This little word sneaks into our language and does a world of damage. Think about how often you say, "I'm too old for that." "I'm too tired to try." "It's too late for me to learn something new." The word "too" creates limits where there don't need to be any. It places an imaginary cap on your abilities and experiences. But here's the truth. As long as you are breathing, it is not too late to do anything. Your timeline is your own. Life does not stop being full of opportunities just because you have reached a certain age. When you feel tempted to say "too," try replacing it with empowering phrases. "I might need more time or support, but I can do it." "This is new to me, but I am open to trying." It is never too late to start something meaningful. For example, instead of saying, "I'm too old to exercise," say, "My body is changing, so I will find exercises that suit me." Instead of thinking, "It's too late to make friends," say, "I will start looking for ways to connect with people who share my interests." Your abilities and opportunities are not gone, they have just evolved. "Too" is a word that limits. But with curiosity and possibility, you can shatter those limits and experience life in ways you never imagined. Life has taught us that persistence pays off. What was once impossible has become achievable, proving that determination leads to success. So why should that stop now? You are capable of far more than you think. Believe in yourself, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish. How many times have you used the phrase, "I can't complain," as a way to dismiss your true feelings? While it may seem polite or inconsequential, this phrase subtly discourages honest expression. Speaking openly and authentically allows for real connections and support. Life is full of highs and lows, and you are allowed to experience and express all of it. Let's retire "I can't complain" and replace it with words that reflect your reality and invite meaningful conversations. Here's a phrase many of us lean on as we reflect on days gone by. I used to be. It might sound harmless, but it often carries a tinge of regret or longing for what we perceive we've lost. Think about how this phrase sneaks into conversations. I used to be so fit. I used to be the life of the party. I used to have so much patience for these things. When you say I used to be, you unintentionally magnify the gap between who you were and who you are now. It's as if you are holding up a mirror to a past version of yourself while overlooking the strengths, growth, and beauty of the person you have become. But here's something to remember. Life isn't about staying the same. It's about evolving. Who you are today is shaped by years of experience, wisdom, and resilience. And that is something worth celebrating. Instead of focusing on who you used to be, take pride in who you are now. Replace I used to be fit with I stay active in ways that feel good to me now. Swap I used to have energy for everything with I invest my energy where it matters most. Instead of saying I used to be so patient, say I have learned to prioritize myself more. Every phase of life brings its own set of blessings and lessons. When you let go of the past, you create space to embrace the present. A version of you that is wiser, stronger, and deeply enriched by life's experiences. Wouldn't you rather celebrate your journey than long for a version of yourself that no longer fits? You've earned the right to stand tall in the here and now, free from comparisons to the past. Ah, the classic, it's always been this way. How many times have you said this as a reason to keep things as they are? I've always handled my health this way. This is the way I've always solved problems. It's always been this way in our family. This phrase carries an undertone of resignation, as if you are stuck in a pattern that cannot or should not change. But here's the good news. Just because something has always been one way does not mean it has to stay that way. Life is full of opportunities to try something new, even after 70. By clinging to, it's always been this way, you might be holding yourself back from fresh experiences, new friendships, and possibilities that could enrich your life. For example, if you have always managed challenges alone, consider allowing others to step in and help. People genuinely want to support you. Give them the chance. If your approach to health has always been reactive, shift to a more proactive mindset. Perhaps it's time to explore yoga, nutrition classes, or even a new doctor's perspective. If family dynamics have always been strained, take a bold step and start a new conversation with a different tone. Sometimes, a small spark can lead to remarkable change. By letting go of the phrase, "It's always been this way," you give yourself permission to grow and adapt. Imagine the possibilities that open up when you shift from a mindset of being stuck to one of what's next. Whether it's picking up a new skill, building a connection, or rethinking an old routine, every step forward brings more joy, meaning, and fulfillment to your life. Remember, your greatest chapter doesn't have to lie in the past. It can start today. With the decision to challenge the status quo and take on life with curiosity and courage. After all, you have nothing to lose and so much to gain. Here's one we all say without even thinking. I'm fine. How many times has someone asked how you're doing and you reflexively responded, I'm fine, even when you weren't? The phrase I'm fine often acts as a shield, a way to avoid deeper conversations or the vulnerability of sharing your true feelings. But here's the thing. Saying I'm fine can isolate you. It robs the people who care about you of the chance to support you, and it keeps you from acknowledging and working through your emotions. Let's be honest, sometimes life is not fine. Maybe you are dealing with grief, loneliness, or health struggles. Instead of brushing these feelings aside, practice opening up, even just a little. For instance, if someone asks how you are, try saying, I'm doing okay, but I've had better days. I'm managing, but there's a lot on my mind. I'm getting by, but I could really use a listening ear. Being honest doesn't mean you are burdening anyone. It means you are letting people in. Often these moments of connection bring a sense of relief that a simple I'm fine never could. At the same time, don't overuse I'm fine when things are going well. If you are feeling happy, share that too. Say, I'm great, thank you. Today's been wonderful and I'm feeling good. Positivity is just as contagious as negativity, so let your joy shine when it's there. Stop saying, I'm fine by default. Instead, Allow yourself to be authentic and open, because that's where real connection and understanding begin. Your words shape your reality. By choosing them carefully, you empower yourself to move forward with confidence, resilience, and joy. Let go of phrases that hold you back and embrace the language of growth and possibility. Let's talk about one of the most damaging beliefs we can hold as we age. I don't belong anymore. Maybe you've thought it when surrounded by younger people, or maybe you've said it in moments of loneliness. But let me tell you right now, that is simply not true. Feeling like you no longer have a place in the world often stems from societal messages that try to push older women into the background. But guess what? You are still here. You are still relevant. You still have value. The wisdom and experiences you bring to the table are needed now more than ever. Think about the times when you've offered guidance to a younger friend, shared a story that made someone laugh, or given advice that truly helped someone. Those moments are proof that you belong. Instead of saying, I don't belong anymore, remind yourself, I bring value to every space I enter. My presence, wisdom, and kindness make a difference. I am still learning, growing, and contributing to the world. The world isn't just for the young, it's for all of us. And the more you embrace your place in it, the more the world will reflect that back to you. Have you ever caught yourself saying, I don't have anything to look forward to anymore? It's a thought that can creep in when routines feel repetitive or when we compare our current lives to the excitement of the past. But here's the truth. There is always something to look forward to. Maybe it's a small pleasure, a morning cup of coffee in the sunlight, a favorite book waiting to be read, or a phone call with an old friend. Maybe it's something bigger, learning a new skill, planning a trip, or deepening connections with loved ones. When we stop looking for joy, life starts to feel stagnant. But the moment we start seeing opportunities instead of endings, everything changes. Try this. Start a joy list. Every day, write down one thing you're excited for, no matter how small. Pick something new to learn or try. A new recipe, a hobby, or even a different walking route. Make plans with a friend or family member. Even if it's just a coffee date or a video call, there is always something to look forward to. You just have to open your heart and mind to see it. This is perhaps one of the most heartbreaking phrases older women say. It's too late for me. Too late to start over. Too late to find love again. Too late to chase a dream. Too late to learn something new. But let me ask you something. Who decided that? The only timeline that matters is your own. Society might try to tell us that youth is the only time for growth and change, but that is a lie. Women have started businesses in their 70s, fallen in love in their 80s, and learned new languages in their 90s. The real barrier isn't age, it's belief. When you say, it's too late for me, you close a door that was never locked in the first place. But when you say, why not me? Why not now? You step into possibility. Instead of thinking about what's behind you, focus on what's ahead. Want to learn something new? Start today. Want to strengthen relationships? Reach out. Want to pursue a dream? Take the first step. It is never too late to begin again. Words are powerful. The way you talk to yourself and about yourself influences how you feel, how you act, and how others see you. By letting go of words and phrases that limit you, I'm too old, I can't, it's too late, you open yourself up to a life of possibility, confidence, and fulfillment. So, here's my challenge for you. Pick one phrase from this list that you're going to stop saying today. Just one. Maybe you'll stop apologizing unnecessarily. Maybe you'll stop dismissing compliments. Maybe you'll stop saying, I don't belong. Whatever it is, replace it with something stronger, bolder, and truer. You are not invisible. You are not irrelevant. You are wise, powerful, and deserving of every good thing life has to offer. And if no one has told you this today, you are beautiful, you are valuable, and you matter. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like this video if it resonated with you. Leave a comment. Which phrase do you need to let go of the most? subscribe for more empowering conversations about aging, confidence, and living fully. And before you go, sign up for my channel newsletter for weekly inspiration, advice, and uplifting content straight to your inbox. Until next time, stay bold, stay beautiful, and most importantly, stay you. Is there an ideal number when it comes to intimacy in later life? Is there a magic formula for happiness, health, or connection? You may be surprised by what the science actually says. Stay with me until the end, and I'll share a little-known fact that might completely change how you view intimacy at this stage of life. Society often dismisses the idea of older adults maintaining active sex lives, as if intimacy is something we're supposed to outgrow. But let me tell you, intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. In fact, studies are showing that sexual activity in later years brings profound benefits to both the mind and body, yet one question lingers in the minds of many. How much is considered normal or healthy? Should sex happen weekly, monthly, or only when the mood strikes? Let's dive into the research, dispel some myths, and uncover the truth about how often older adults should be having sex. We've all heard the myths. You're too old for sex, it's not the same anymore. But in reality, the benefits of sex don't diminish with age. If anything, they can become even more important. Keeping an active sex life into your later years does wonders for both your physical and mental well-being. Let's start with the physical advantages. Studies show that regular sexual activity can reduce the risk of heart disease. It works much like exercise by raising your heart rate and improving circulation. Now, I'm not suggesting it replaces a gym workout, but keeping your cardiovascular system active through intimate activity certainly contributes to overall health. Sex also releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals in the brain that lower stress, reduce pain, and improve mood. Another crucial benefit? Many older adults struggle with sleep issues, but intimacy releases oxytocin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and reduces anxiety. Whether through physical closeness, cuddling, or sexual activity, intimacy helps ease muscle tension, fostering deeper, more restful sleep. But perhaps one of the most profound benefits of intimacy is its impact on mental health. Aging can sometimes bring feelings of loneliness, anxiety, or depression. Research has shown that sexually active older adults experience lower rates of these conditions. There is something deeply reassuring about feeling wanted and connected. A fulfilling sexual relationship reminds us that we are still vibrant, still relevant, and still very much alive. You may have heard people say that sex helps memory, and surprisingly, they're right. Studies suggest that sexual activity stimulates key areas of the brain, strengthening neural connections. This, in turn, may help slow cognitive decline and even reduce the risk of conditions like Alzheimer's. In essence, intimacy acts as a workout for both your brain and your emotions, keeping you mentally sharp and engaged. Emotional benefits are just as significant. Physical closeness with a partner fosters feelings of security, connection, and emotional fulfillment. It's not just about romance. It's about knowing that someone desires you, values you, and wants to be close to you. At this stage of life, intimacy becomes less about physical gratification and more about trust, companionship, and shared affection. Sex is an extension of love, and that connection strengthens emotional well-being. Now to the big question: how often should older adults be having sex? You might be expecting a precise number, but here's the reality. There's no universal answer. The most important thing isn't the frequency, but the quality of connection between you and your partner. That said, research does provide some interesting insights. A study from the National Library of Medicine found that older adults who had sex once a week reported higher levels of happiness and overall life satisfaction, particularly in their relationships. However, it's important to note that it's not about how many times per week, but rather about the level of satisfaction and emotional connection. While weekly intimacy seems to be a common benchmark, studies also show that couples who engage in sex less frequently still report being deeply fulfilled emotionally and physically. This highlights why there's no single, perfect number. Some couples may feel completely satisfied with monthly intimacy, while others maintain their connection through frequent touch, closeness, and affectionate gestures. even if intercourse itself becomes less frequent. As people age, many report that sex becomes less about physical performance and more about emotional intimacy. When the pressure to perform fades, intimacy transforms into something more profound. This shift in mindset has been shown to improve relationship satisfaction and even increase the frequency of intimacy for some couples.